pay to maintain it. It's another thing that you're going to have to replace an AC after being in there for a year. And they just had a bum rap. After they hired us to help renegotiate their lease, we definitely took a look at that, and we did help them modify a few other points on the lease. At this point, we also recommend having a lawyer look it over, because they're able to send we'll call it legalese, the proper language to have it go into the lease. Even though we do have experience with leases, we cannot lawyer it. That is a line that we just cannot cross professionally or ethically. It's a fine line, but we do write it, and we do have some great real estate attorneys here in the area that we can definitely recommend you speak to, and they're beyond knowledgeable that we've worked with before.
Great. So then that brings up another question: is you talk about all the commercial leases, but what are the different types of commercial leases that are out there and available?
Oh, there are two main types of leases. There's something called a modified gross lease, in which case a modified gross lease means that your rent, if you see that you're paying... Sorry, let me back up. When you look at lease rates in commercial, you're 9 times out of 10, you're looking at dollars per square foot. If you're paying $10 a square foot for 1,000 square foot space, then that means that you're paying $10,000 for the year, and then it's broken down monthly. That's number one. Number two is when the different types of leases, when you're talking about a modified gross lease, that means that includes any kind of building, any kind of maintenance to the exterior of the building, parking, keeping up with the parking lot, the taxes on the building that you're in, and the insurance. That's all included in the lease, and you're not paying anything other than what's listed plus sales tax. On commercial leases, there's always sales tax. Now, a triple net lease is the other type, and you'll see it either designated as NNN, or it will spell out triple net. Now, a triple net lease, you have whatever the lease rate is advertised. So again, maybe you have a 1,000 square foot building being advertised at $10 a foot, triple net. That means that your base rent is going to be $10 a foot, or let's say $850 monthly. And then you're going to have whatever the triple net is. The triple net is comprised of three components. One of them is real estate taxes, building insurance, and maintenance cost, or CAM. CAM is short for common area maintenance. Now, with these properties, they take whatever portion of, let's say you're in a strip mall, and let's say that you represent 10% of the lease space in the strip mall. So you have 1,000 square feet of space, and the strip mall is 10,000 square feet total. You're only going to pay that amount on your portion of those taxes, insurance, and maintenance, which is 10%. So whatever their bill is, they bill you 10%. They call it pass-through costs. What you'll also see here is that some places also just call it CAM, or common area maintenance, and that's just another type of a triple net lease, or maybe it's a double net. So that might be an additional $3. So you could say, great, my lease rate is $850 a month, and then it's actually close to 30%. It's actually 30% more, because you still have these other expenses that you do have to pay for.
Okay. So
plus tax.
Plus tax, I like that. So what are the best questions to ask when I start my search to look for a commercial space?
Well, one of the key questions is each person knows their business. So what we need to determine is what type of business do you have, and what kind of spaces, what kind of zoning will allow you to be in those spaces. For instance, we were dealing with someone who wanted to open up a bakery, and they had a specific idea for the type of space that they wanted, the look on the outside. They were looking more for kind of a cozy cottage feel versus being in a strip mall. Well, we found a space, The only issue was that the zoning wouldn't allow them to put in an oven. So that space wouldn't work out for them. We checked zoning initially. We always call the county or the city, whoever the zoning body is for that space, just to make sure that it will fit in with what our clients are looking to do. Just like for a gym, we're trying to find a good space for a gym, called up for one of the spaces, and the zoning won't allow a gym to be in it. It doesn't fit the zoning requirement, so these are just things that do happen. We've also had a client who put in $30,000 or $40,000 into a space only to find out that they don't have an approved use. Their business can't go into the space that they rented, and they already put money into it. Now, they didn't rent it with us because that would have been one of the questions that we would have asked, but they did go ahead and get a space rented without fully looking into some of the details. So that's something that we definitely look into. What zoning do I need, and does this property fit that zoning requirement?
Awesome.
The second... Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say, I will have to have you back again part of this because there's so much information for commercial leases, but we are at the 5-minute marker where this is where I like to give you, the guest, the opportunity to give the contact information out to my guests or out to my listeners. So go ahead, give them anything you want, social media, website, whatever.
I spend most of my time on my phone, to be honest with you. So my phone number is 941-281-5118. My partner Dennis's phone number is 407-492-5587. My email is andrew.garcia@kw.com. Dennis is DennisSmithRealtor@gmail.com. And we are more than happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yes, and thank you again, Andrew, for coming on Socially Joe. Like I said, I'm so blessed to have you in my life as the commercial real estate because we ping ideas off each other, and just as residential, I know nothing of commercial. So I might have something, again, for you that I want to talk to you about and see what we could do.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate it.
Have a great
day,
Thank
you for having me on.
You're welcome, and I'll see you soon.